transparency in government made tremendous progress in 2009. Through all of it, the Sunlight Foundation was there, making sure the data was accessible in a meaningful way, providing important context to the data, advising on legislation, and supporting an online grassroots movement.
We were clearly swimming upstream when it came to changing the culture of Washington. And I think one of the biggest accomplishments of this year has been that we are no longer beating down the doors of government, of Congress or the executive branch, but we're finding these doors are opening more and more.
We have a ton of momentum right now. You know, the thing I can point to as the ultimate win for Sunlight Labs over the course of this year has been Joe Biden talking about data quality on The Daily Show. That's something that that wouldn't have happened 2 years ago or a year ago. The Vice President wouldn't talk about data quality with Jon Stewart, and Jon Stewart wouldn't run a story on data quality while he was interviewing the Vice President of the United States of America.
At the beginning of the year, I noticed a significant difference from the previous year, 2008. My phone was ringing off the hook. And that was a great thing, because normally I'd be the one making the phone calls like, please pay attention to Sunlight. Transparency is an important issue. It's different from campaign finance reform. It's all about the internet, and I couldn't quite get the attention before of political reporters because they thought, oh, you're too much about technology, and the tech writers are like, oh, you're too political, but that all changed in 2009.
And we've seen the changes from the stimulus, which had very little time that it was online, to cap and trade, which had some, but then the amendments were not online, and now actually even more than we've asked for with the healthcare bill, seeing that change throughout the entirety of 2009, where it's actually now almost an assumption based on the kind of the uprising of citizens saying we demand that Congress reads the legislation that they're going to pass that impact our lives, and that we are going to have access to that so we can make our voice heard about what we care about. And that's just a really huge fundamental shift.
When leadership in the House and the Senate decided that they were going to start posting all earmark requests online, that took us a little bit by surprise. That's something that we had been asking for a long time in a lot of different contexts. And usually we brought it up as something that we didn't expect to happen. And we went very quickly from that being something that was uncomfortable but was worth bringing up to something that leadership was backing and was going to be required of every member of Congress. And suddenly they were all very happy to say, yes, I'm transparent, I'm accountable to my constituents, you can see my earmarks. And that's one time when I thought, wow, the internet really is changing what our expectations are, and those expectations are getting through.
In 2009, the House and the Senate both agreed to release information on requests on earmarks, which is great. They've never done this before. But the way that they did it was really, really inconsistent. The rules were basically a member had to put the information up on his or her website. There was no kind of guidance, there was no central place to find these, and every member did it in a different format. You couldn't always find it because some of them buried it deep within their websites. The Sunlight reporting team looked for all the earmark disclosures. The impact it had was some members of Congress noticed and thought, boy, this is really crazy. Let's have a reform bill. And there's like 3 or 4 in Congress right now that would do this. You have it all on one website or 2 websites, and you could just download it all in the same format. And then lo and behold, people could actually use this data and do stuff with it.